What's growing on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you a big mistake you cannot afford to make when growing sweet potatoes. And that mistake is rotating sweet potato plants throughout your garden. As gardeners, we are constantly taught the importance of crop rotation, and crop rotation is important for a lot of the different species that we grow, but not sweet potatoes. We practice crop rotation in our gardens for two primary reasons. Number one, if you keep growing the same thing in the same location year after year and it is prone to various diseases, those diseases can accumulate in your soil over time because you're constantly giving those pathogens the same host to grow onto. So if you're constantly spreading what you grow throughout the garden, you're not giving those pathogens the same host year after year, which keeps disease populations under control better. And number two, it helps stop nutrient deficiencies within your garden. Because different plants demand different nutrients at different rates, if you grow the same plant in the same soil over time, it pulls on the same nutrients, so you can wind up creating deficiencies. When you rotate that plant throughout your garden, you are spreading out the nutrient demands and you're less likely to receive a soil deficiency over time. But sweet potatoes don't really get very many disease issues, and they actually grow better in soil that is deficient in organic matter. They create bigger roots when you're actually growing them in nitrogen-poor environments. And when you do grow them in the same location time and time again, this happens. Look at the beautiful sweet potato vines growing in this raised bed. Aren't they lovely? Do you know how many sweet potato plants I planted in this raised bed this year? 0. In fact, I haven't planted a sweet potato in this bed in 2 years, but I used to grow sweet potatoes in this bed. You see, when you harvest sweet potatoes, you leave little remnants of the roots behind in the soil. It's impossible to harvest them all, and over time, those remnants will keep sprouting over and over again. All of these sweet potatoes have grown up on their own because of roots that were left behind 2 years ago, and they keep regrowing. It's like a vicious cycle. So if you plant sweet potato plants throughout your entire garden, you are going to be leaving little root remnants all over the place, and they will keep sprouting, and you will have invasive sweet potatoes growing everywhere. For these reasons, I strongly recommend you select a plot to grow your sweet potatoes in and you grow them there every single year. Don't move them around, because if you do, you will have invasive sweet potato vines growing throughout your garden like wildfire. For most growers, especially growers with small gardens, I actually recommend you grow sweet potatoes in 25-gallon grow bags. That is what I do. I get the best production. In fact, sweet potatoes are one of those crops that actually like it when the containers get washed out of excess nitrogen, and I tend to get better production inside these grow bags because there's less nutrients than inside my garden, believe it or not. If you're curious how to grow sweet potatoes in containers, I will place a link down in the video description to a video for your convenience. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip.
If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.